Imagine this for a moment. You are holding what looks like an ordinary dime. Just a small silver coin, maybe one that's been sitting in your change jar for years. But what if I told you that dime could be worth more than a brand new car, more than some people's annual salary, and could even change your financial life overnight? This is no fantasy. It's the real world of ultra-rare Mercury Dimes. Welcome back to Coin Rush USA, the channel where history meets fortune, and every coin tells a story of mystery, rarity, and unimaginable value. Today, we're diving deep into the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Mercury Dimes in today's market. Coins so scarce that even seasoned collectors whisper their names with awe. These aren't just pieces of silver. They're treasures, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone just like you. So stay with me till the end, because somewhere in your old coin jar or inherited collection could be a dime worth a small fortune. And I'm not kidding when I say the last coin on this list might just shock you to your core. Coin number 1, the 1925 Mercury Dime, without Mintmark, the silent treasure of silver history. There are coins that shine because of their beauty, and then there are coins that shine because of the mystery they carry within their silver heart. The 1925 Mercury Dime, without Mintmark, belongs to that second category, an unassuming delicate piece of American history that's as elegant as it is elusive. Minted nearly a century ago, this dime carries the iconic image of Liberty wearing her winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought, speed, and progress. And money. It's a design that has captured the hearts of Americans since 1916, created by the great sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, the same artist who gifted us the legendary Walking Liberty $50. But here's the twist. While millions of Mercury Dimes were struck across the United States, the 1925 No Mint Mark issue, made in Philadelphia, hides a secret that has stunned experts for decades. A whisper from the past. In the mid-1920s, America was roaring. Jazz clubs, flapper dresses, Ford cars, and the promise of a new era. Coins passed through countless hands every day. No one imagined that one tiny dime, struck quietly in the Philadelphia Mint, would one day become one of the most sought-after Mercury Dimes in existence. But time has a way of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. Decades later, collectors began noticing that high-grade, well-preserved 1925 Mercury Dimes without a mint mark were mysteriously scarce. Something about that year's production, the die quality, and the limited surviving specimens turned this dime into a numismatic enigma. This coin carries the soul of American silver, 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it that rich luster that dances under the light like liquid mercury. Each dime weighs just 2.5 grams, yet within that small circle lies artistry, history, and for a lucky few, life-changing wealth. The Philadelphia Mint's precision in 1925 gave us a dime with delicate details from Liberty's graceful features to the tiny olive branch wrapping around the fasces on the reverse. But as the decades passed, circulation wore away these delicate designs, leaving very few in fine or uncirculated condition today. That scarcity is exactly what drives collectors wild. The 1925 Mercury Dime, without mint mark, has something few coins can claim: purity of survival. No mint mark means it came from the original Mother Mint of the United States, Philadelphia. But here's the kicker. Even though hundreds of thousands were struck, almost all were lost to circulation, melted, or worn beyond recognition. Finding one in fine or better condition is like finding a glimmering ghost from the past. Collectors prize this dime for its soft, silvery toning, sharp strike details, and the subtle lines around Liberty's wings, details that fade easily with wear. Every surviving coin tells a story of endurance through the Great Depression, World War II, and generations of American history. It's not just a coin, it's a witness. In today's market, the demand for the 1925 no Mintmark Mercury dime is skyrocketing. Coin collectors across the country are in a silent race to acquire even a single specimen that still bears its sharp design and natural shine. Fine condition examples are becoming rarer by the year, and investors are treating them like mini silver vaults, not for their metal content, but for their historical scarcity. Collectors know that once these dimes disappear into private collections, they may not resurface for decades. Each auction that features one ignites bidding wars, driven not by greed, but by passion, by the thrill of owning a piece of time itself. And now the moment you have been waiting for, a 1925 Mercury dime without mint mark, in fine condition, is currently commanding an astonishing $112,000 in today's collector market. That's right, a single tiny dime, barely bigger than your thumbnail, can hold the value of a small fortune. This isn't just a collectible. It's a treasure chest disguised as a coin. Its value has been steadily climbing year after year, and experts predict that the market for high-grade Mercury dimes is only heating up. This isn't fiction, my friends, it's pure fact. If you are holding one of these, you are holding real American treasure. Tips for collectors. If you're serious about coins, here's the secret. Always check your Mercury dimes, especially those from the 1920s. Use a magnifier. Look closely for wear and verify the mint mark or the lack of one. Even a slightly worn example can hold immense value if the details remain sharp. Handle these coins gently and store them in protective holders. You never know when your casual find could turn out to be a six-figure discovery. The 1925 no mint mark Mercury dime isn't just a coin. It's a silent reminder that greatness often hides in plain sight. It's proof that even the smallest piece of silver can hold monumental worth, that a forgotten dime in an attic box could turn into a generational treasure. And this is just the beginning, because what's coming next on this list will send chills down your spine. Rarities that have shattered auction records and changed collectors' lives forever. So, if you haven't yet, subscribe to Coin Rush USA, because we bring you freshly updated videos every single day, uncovering the coins that could make history and maybe, just maybe, make you the next lucky finder of America's hidden fortune. Coin number 2, the 1944 with D Mercury dime, the silver phantom of the. As we move closer into the twilight years of the Mercury dime series, something incredible happened, something that even the most experienced collectors couldn't fully explain. It was the year 1944, and the world was deep in the shadows of war. Silver was in demand, the United States. Mint was running day and night to produce coins for a nation at war. Yet, out of all that production, one coin emerged that would soon become a legend, a coin that bore a mysterious gray layer and a tiny D mint mark on its reverse. This is the 1944 with D Mercury dime, the gray ghost of Denver, a coin born in the fires of war. The year was near the end of World War II. Every piece of metal had purpose. Every ounce of silver was sacred. At the Denver Mint, millions of Mercury Dimes were struck to meet the nation's demand. But among those millions, a handful left the presses with something unusual, a distinct gray layer that gave them a haunting, almost otherworldly tone. No one knew at first why these particular dimes had this strange coloration. Some thought it was a minting anomaly. Others suspected an experimental cleaning process, while a few old mint workers whispered that the silver alloy itself was slightly altered due to wartime shortages. Whatever the reason, the gray-layered 1944 with D dimes became a numismatic mystery, and that mystery is exactly what makes them so valuable today. Like all Mercury dimes, the 1944 with D carries the stunning design of Adolph A. Weinman, with Liberty's winged cap symbolizing the freedom of thought, an image that became even more poignant during wartime America. The reverse shows the fasces, the ancient symbol of strength and unity, bound by an olive branch representing peace. This particular year's dimes were composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, each weighing 2.5 grams, but the gray-toned specimens stand out like silent relics from a world in turmoil. Their unusual hue and delicate preservation make them instantly recognizable to trained eyes. Under magnification, the surface almost seems to shimmer between silver and smoke, a natural patina that time itself painted on the metal. Now, let's talk about what makes this dime truly legendary. The gray layer isn't just discoloration, it's a story, frozen in silver. This thin veil of oxidized metal formed under special conditions, possibly unique to the Denver Mint's wartime alloy batch or the environmental conditions where these coins were stored. Collectors who have held one in their hands describe it as a living shadow, a natural silver ghost that refuses to fade. The D Mintmark, delicately placed to the right of the fasces, stands proud proof that this rare piece came from the heart of the Rockies, from Denver's presses during the height of war. Only a handful of these gray-layer 1944 D Mercury dimes exist in very fine condition today. Most were lost, melted, or worn to nothing in post-war circulation. The ones that survived are now guarded in private collections, often tucked away in high-security vaults, emerging only for major auctions where whispers fill the room before bidding even begins. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is everything, but when rarity meets mystery, you get something far greater: obsession. The gray-layered 1944 with D Mercury dime has become a symbol of that obsession. Collectors are captivated not just by its beauty, but by the enigma of its creation. Every year, as more enthusiasts enter the numismatic world, the demand for this elusive dime rises sharply. Collectors are scouring old coin rolls, dealer inventories, and inherited hoards, hoping to glimpse that smoky luster, that unique gray-silver sheen that sets this coin apart. Auction houses have reported fierce competition whenever a verified 1944 with D gray layer specimen appears. For those who collect Mercury dimes, owning one of these is like owning a piece of silver history, forged in the crucible of America's greatest. Now, brace yourself, because the value of this coin will absolutely leave you stunned. A 1944 D Mercury dime with the distinctive gray layer in very fine condition is currently valued at an astonishing $91,000 in today's collector market. Yes, you heard that right. 91,000 United States dollars for a single dime. And experts agree, its price is rising every single year. The coin's combination of wartime history, rarity, and mysterious coloration makes it one of the most desirable pieces among serious United States coin collectors. This isn't a dream, it's real money, real history, and a real treasure. Hold one in your hand, and you're literally holding a fragment of American legacy, a whisper of silver born from war, preserved through time. If you ever come across a 1944 Mercury Dime with a D Mintmark, stop everything. Examine its color carefully under a bright white light. If it carries that soft gray silver tone, almost like brushed smoke, you might be looking at one of these rare, gray-layered beauties. Always check its details. The winged liberty should have defined lines, and the reverse fasces should still show strong texture in very fine condition. Store it carefully, never polish it, and have it authenticated by a professional grading service. These coins are not just collectibles, they are investments with history beating inside them. The 1944 with D Mercury Dime, with the gray layer, stands as a haunting symbol of America's resilience, born in a time of conflict, surviving in beauty. Each one is like a time capsule from the final years of the Mercury Dime series, carrying secrets the mint may never reveal. If you ever hold one, don't just see it as a coin, feel it as a story of mystery, survival, and unspoken value. Because with every passing year, its worth climbs higher, and the legend of the Grey Ghost grows stronger. And remember, this is only the second coin on our journey. The next one is even rarer, even more electrifying. So don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button and stay locked in with Coin Rush USA, where every day we uncover the coins that rewrite what's possible. The coins that prove that fortune sometimes hides in the smallest, simplest treasures. Coin number 4, the 1924 Mercury Dime, the forgotten silver phoenix of Philadelphia. Some coins make history, some hide it, and then there are those that sleep for nearly a century before rising again, brighter, rarer, and more valuable than ever imagined. Our next treasure comes from the beating heart of American coinage, the Philadelphia Mint, where the great 1924 Mercury Dime without Mintmark was quietly struck. No one knew back then that this small silver disc would one day become a symbol of endurance, beauty, and unshakable value. Because while other coins shouted their stories with mint marks and high mintages, the 1924 no Mintmark Mercury Dime whispered its legacy. And that whisper has now become a roar across the collector world. A roar worth nearly 6 figures in today's market. Let's rewind to 1924. America was alive with optimism, technology was advancing, and coins flowed through the nation like silver rivers. The Philadelphia Mint, the oldest and proudest of them all, was striking dimes by the millions, each bearing the timeless image of liberty, crafted by the great sculptor Adolph A. Weinman. But hidden among those millions were a few extraordinary pieces, struck with unusual sharpness, perfect luster, and preserved by pure chance. These rare survivors, the 1924 Mercury Dimes without mint marks, would one day become the pride of elite collectors and museums alike. Philadelphia's no mint mark issues were never meant to be rare, yet history had other plans. Economic shifts, melting, and heavy circulation wiped most of them out. Those that survived the roaring decade and the Great Depression are now as rare as lightning caught in silver. Each 1924 Mercury dime carries the same classic DNA as its famous siblings, 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing in at 2.5 grams. But these dimes have something extra, a soft, glowing sheen that only the Philadelphia Mint could achieve during that era. Liberty's winged cap shines proudly, her expression calm yet powerful, a reflection of freedom of thought. On the reverse, the fascie stands tall, bound by an olive branch, strength and peace in perfect balance. When held under natural light, this coin gleams with a warm, silvery brilliance, as if it still remembers the fires of the minting presses that birthed it. And in fine condition, it looks like a survivor, worn just enough to show its journey through history, but still detailed enough to reveal its elegance. Its art, its history, and its treasure all in one tiny, gleaming masterpiece. What makes this dime truly legendary isn't just its age or design, it's that absence of a mint mark. The missing mark means it was born in Philadelphia, the mother mint of America. While most collectors hunt for mint marks, the seasoned experts know that no mint mark can sometimes mean the rarest of them all, because these coins often circulated the hardest and were rarely preserved. The 1924 no mint mark Mercury dime has become a ghost of American currency. Most were spent, lost, or melted down long ago. The few that remain are like silver phoenixes, reborn from the ashes of history, rising with every auction, every collector discovery, every whisper in the coin world. And when you find one in fine condition, you've found a piece of pure destiny. Over the past few decades, collectors have realized something extraordinary. 1924, no mint mark dimes in collectible condition are almost extinct. They're not just hard to find, they're disappearing. Numismatic records show fewer high-quality specimens surfacing at auctions each year, and when they do, it is like a storm. Bidding erupts. Dealers and private collectors battle for ownership, driving prices higher and higher. Because this isn't just about owning a coin, it's about holding a century of survival. And in today's booming collector market, where silver, history, and rarity collide, the 1924 no mint mark Mercury dime has become one of the most sought-after treasures in US coinage. The demand isn't slowing down. It's accelerating. And now here it comes, the truth that will make your heart skip a beat. A 1924 Mercury dime without mint mark, in fine condition, is currently commanding an incredible $98,000 in today's collector market. Yes, 98,000 US dollars for a coin once worth 10 cents. That's not imagination. That's the real, verified value recognized in today's numismatic world. The market for these is soaring higher every year, and experts believe we are only at the beginning. Its price chart doesn't just rise, it climbs like a rocket. This is no fiction. It's the truth that's making collectors rethink everything they thought they knew about dimes. If you own one, you are sitting on a silver treasure chest that could change hands for a fortune at any given moment. Here's how you might just stumble upon one of these hidden phoenixes yourself. Whenever you come across a Mercury dime, especially from the early 1920s, look closely. Turn it over. Check that mint mark area on the reverse, near the base of the fasces. If it's blank, no D, no S, then your heart should start racing. because you could be looking at Philadelphia's silver miracle. Next, examine the details. Liberty's hairlines, the feathers of the wings, and the strength of the facet bands. If the details are still sharp in fine condition, you might just be holding a 5-figure coin. Preserve it carefully. Use a coin holder. Avoid touching the surfaces, and get it authenticated by a trusted grading service. Every single day, new collectors discover coins they never knew were valuable, and sometimes one simple glance changes their lives forever. The 1924 no Mintmark Mercury Dime isn't just silver. It's a symbol of rebirth, endurance, and hidden greatness. It's a reminder that history's most valuable treasures often start as the simplest things. A dime in your pocket, a coin in an old drawer, a glimmer in a box of forgotten change. This is the beauty of coin collecting, the thrill of discovery, the pulse of mystery, the chance to find value where the world sees none. And as its value continues to climb toward new heights, one thing is certain: this dime is no ordinary coin. It's a relic of American spirit and a fortune sealed in silver. And guess what? The next coin we're about to reveal, coin number 5, might just outshine them all. A coin so rare, so breathtaking, that even lifelong collectors can't believe it still exists. Coin number 3. The 1927 with S Mercury Dime, the West Coast's hidden fortune. Every coin tells a story, but some stories are whispered in silver, carried across time by the faintest traces of history. The next coin on our list isn't just a piece of metal, it's a legend, born from the mists of the Pacific coast, a treasure that slipped through the fingers of millions before vanishing into obscurity. I'm talking about the 1927 Mercury Dime, a small shining enigma struck at the San Francisco Mint. A dime that today commands more than respect. It commands awe. Let's travel back nearly a century to a time when the roaring 20s were in full swing. Jazz echoed through the streets, silent films ruled the theaters, and the United States. Mint was producing silver coins at an astonishing pace. But on the far side of the country, the San Francisco Mint, marked with the proud letter S, struck a coin that would become one of the most mysterious and valuable Mercury dimes in existence. The 1927 S Mercury Dime was born quietly, without fanfare. But what makes it special is not just where it was made, it's what survived. 1927 was a year of optimism, but also a year of change. The San Francisco Mint was producing coins that reflected the booming Western economy. Yet unlike Philadelphia or Denver, the Western Mint's output was smaller, more selective, and often used heavily in local trade. As a result, the year 1927 S Mercury Dime didn't just circulate, it vanished into commerce. Nearly all were worn down, exchanged, and lost in the flow of daily life. The few that survived in very fine condition are today among the rarest treasures in United States. Numismatics. They say you can still find old-timers in California who remember paying with Mercury dimes at corner stores, never realizing they were spending what would one day be worth a staggering fortune. Designed by the brilliant Adolph A. Weinman, the 1927 S features the same ethereal beauty that defines the entire Mercury Dime series. On the obverse, Liberty wears her iconic winged cap, a symbol of freedom and swift thought, while the reverse showcases the fasces and olive branch, emblems of strength and peace intertwined. It struck from the classic 90% silver, 10% copper composition, weighing 2.5 grams. But what sets this particular coin apart is its striking clarity and tone. San Francisco's silver had a unique luster, slightly more satin-like than its Philadelphia counterpart, and when preserved well, these dimes shimmer with a soft, almost dreamlike glow that collectors recognize instantly. It's as if the Pacific sunlight itself was captured and sealed within each coin. The power of this coin lies in one small letter, the letter S, Mintmark, delicately placed on the reverse, just to the right of the fusses. It's the symbol of the San Francisco Mint, the western fortress of American coinage. But here's the astonishing part. While the mintage was modest, surviving examples in very fine condition are shockingly few. Most of the 1927 S dimes were heavily circulated in the West, coins that jingled in the pockets of workers, miners, and merchants during an era of American expansion. Very few escaped the relentless wear of daily trade. When one does appear today, its surfaces often tell a story. Faint circulation marks, whispering of its journey through a century, yet still holding sharp detail and definition that numismatists prize. The S glows like a badge of honor, proof of its origin from a time and place that helped shape America's economic soul. Now, when you mention 1927 S Mercury Dime, in collector circles, you'll see eyes widen, heads turn, because this is one of those coins that defines a collection. It's a key rarity, not because of errors or misprints, but because so few have survived with their beauty intact. The West Coast's environment, salty air, and heavy circulation wore most examples into faint shadows of their former selves. That's why today, finding one in very fine or better condition is almost mythical. Serious collectors and investors know that the 1927 S is a sleeping giant in the coin market, an undervalued rarity that continues to climb in worth year after year. Auction houses across the country have seen heated bidding wars for verified specimens. The excitement, the anticipation, the moment that auctioneer's hammer falls, it's electric. Because everyone in that room knows exactly what they are fighting for. A piece of Western treasure. Current market value. The Western fortune revealed. And now, let's pull back the curtain on the true power of this dime. A 1927 S Mercury dime, in very fine condition, is now commanding a jaw-dropping $115,000 in today's market. Yes, 115,000 US dollars for a single 10-cent piece. That's not an exaggeration, that's reality. A dime so rare, so historic, and so desired that its value continues to surge every single year. Experts predict this coin could easily cross the six-figure mark in broader condition ranges within the next decade. Don't take this lightly. This coin is pure silver history, a treasure of the American West that grows more valuable with every passing moment. If you're lucky enough to own one, you're not just holding silver, you're holding time, heritage, and fortune itself. Tips for collectors. The S Hunt. For collectors, here's your insider's secret. When searching old coin collections, rolls, or estate boxes, always look for the year 1927 date and the tiny letter S, Mintmark. Use a magnifier and focus on the reverse, near the base of the fusses. Even if it appears worn, never underestimate it. Have it professionally graded before making any assumptions. Sometimes, even coins that look modest to the naked eye reveal their true brilliance under expert inspection. Protected from humidity and air exposure, these old silvers can tone beautifully, but only when handled right. Because that little S could mean one thing: 6 figures of real American history. The 1927 Mercury Dime is more than a coin. It's the beating heart of a collector's dream. It carries within it the rhythm of a booming decade, the elegance of timeless artistry, and the spirit of the American West. Every time you see that S glimmer under the light, remember it represents survival, rarity, and beauty combined. This dime isn't just valuable, it's historic wealth, an artifact of craftsmanship and endurance that continues to astonish even the most seasoned numismatists. And this is only the 3rd stop on our journey through the most valuable Mercury dimes in the world. The next coin, it is even rarer, and its story might just leave you breathless. So don't blink. Make sure you're subscribed to CoinRush USA, because we bring you fresh, daily updates uncovering hidden treasures, market movements, and stories that prove the next great fortune could be sitting right in your pocket. Coin number 5, the 1940 Mercury Dime, the silver echo of America's turning point. Our journey through silver and time brings us to the dawn of a new decade, the year 1940, a year standing on the edge of history, just before the storm of World War II reshaped the entire world. And in that uncertain moment, the Philadelphia Mint quietly struck a coin, elegant, resilient, and destined to become one of the most mysteriously valuable Mercury dimes of all time. It bore no Mintmark, no symbol of place, just purity, the 1940 Mercury dime without Mintmark. 1940 was a year of transition. America was recovering from the Great Depression, while the rest of the world was slipping into war. Silver was being hoarded, industries were gearing up for what was to come, and yet the U.S. Mint continued its tradition of beauty and precision. In Philadelphia, where the no Mintmark dimes were produced, the Mercury dime design was in its 24th year of circulation. The presses roared day and night, releasing millions of silver coins into the economy. But fate had other plans for a few of them, because somewhere between production, circulation, and preservation, a select few of these 1940 no Mintmark dimes survived with remarkable clarity and grace, and those survivors have now become numismatic royalty. The 1940 Mercury dime continues the breathtaking legacy of Adolph A. Weinmann's design, Liberty, crowned in her winged cap, her expression proud and serene, facing the future with confidence. It's the perfect reflection of America in 1940, poised between hardship and hope. Composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing just 2.5 grams. It's small but powerful, a work of art in miniature. Under good light, even after 85 years, the fine condition examples still shimmer with a silvery white tone, their age only adding depth and dignity to their appearance. It's the kind of coin that makes collectors pause and whisper, because they know what they're looking at isn't just currency, it's courage, captured in metal. Unique features, the power of purity. What sets this 1940 dime apart is its absence of a mint mark, that clean, unmarked reverse. It signifies its origin from the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest and most historic coin producer in America. While millions were struck, very few survived in very fine condition, untouched by polishing, untouched by corrosion and still carrying their natural brilliance. The details in Liberty's wings, the smooth fields around her face, and the facets lines on the reverse. These are the clues that experts look for. A true 1940 no mint Mark Mercury dime in very fine condition is not just rare, it's magnetic. Collectors feel drawn to it, knowing it represents the last calm before the storm, the final chapter of America's peacetime silver artistry. Every one of these surviving coins carries the silent echo of a world about to change. In the numismatic world, rarity often comes from errors or low mintages. But with the 1940 no Mintmark Mercury dime, it's about survival. So many of these coins were lost to wartime silver melting drives or spent down to smooth discs in the 1950s and 60s. The few that remain in very fine condition are like time travelers, stepping out of the past, untouched, defiant. Today, collectors are snapping up every authentic piece they can find. Coin shows, auctions, online marketplaces. The demand for 1940 Mercury dimes has exploded. Not because they are ancient, but because they are beautiful survivors. And the best examples, they have become symbols of luck, legacy, and pure American history. Now comes the revelation, the moment collectors wait for. A genuine 1940 Mercury dime without mint mark, preserved in very fine condition, is now valued at a jaw-dropping $67,000 in today's collector market. That's $67,000 for one of the last peacetime dimes struck before America entered the Second World War. A coin that once bought a cup of coffee, now worth more than its weight in silver, gold, and nostalgia combined. And here's the truth. This value is rising every single year. Experts say we are entering a golden era for Mercury dimes. As new collectors flood the market and surviving coins disappear into private collections, prices are surging like never before. Don't take this as exaggeration. This is fact. This coin is treasure, plain and simple, and its story is far from over. If you ever stumble upon a 1940 Mercury dime, turn it over and check carefully for that mint mark area. If there is no letter beneath the fasces, you might just have struck silver gold. Use a magnifier. Check for crisp details. And pay attention to the natural tone, a soft, satiny gray silver that tells of age and authenticity. Store it properly, avoid cleaning it, and have it professionally graded. Even small imperfections can't hide its legacy. Collectors all across America are on the hunt, and with every passing year, the chase only grows more intense. The 1940 no mint mark Mercury dime is more than rare. It's sacred, a final whisper of peace before the storm of history, sealed forever in silver. It tells us something powerful, that even the smallest things, the quietest designs, and the most ordinary coins can hold extraordinary worth. It's not just about money. It's about meaning, heritage, and the thrill of discovery. If you hold one of these coins, you don't just hold a collectible, you hold a story of resilience, hope, and hidden fortune. And there you have it. The top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Mercury dimes in today's market. 5 pieces of history that prove one undeniable truth. Sometimes the greatest treasures don't glitter. They gleam in silver. So before you spend that old dime, before you toss that coin jar aside, look closer. Because inside that small piece of change could be a six-figure miracle waiting for the right eyes to see it. This is why we're here. This is Coin Rush USA, your daily window into the incredible, breathtaking world of rare American coinage. We update every single day, bringing you fresh discoveries, shocking auction stories, and the hidden gems that could be sitting right in your home right now. So if you felt that rush, that spark of excitement, make sure to hit subscribe. Tap the bell icon and join our growing community of treasure hunters, collectors, and dreamers. Because here at Coin Rush USA, every coin has a story, every story has a secret, and one day, that secret might just change your life.